The definition of dialogue is conversation between characters or thoughts that a character can have. Dialogue shows what someone wants or thinks, what they are motivated to do in their actions, and it helps us understand who the character is on a deeper level. Characters talk to each other or they speak to each other in dialogue. Here's an example. Hey, how are you? See how there are quotes around what they're saying? Isabel said, I'm really good. Thanks for asking. And you? So the punctuation goes within the quotation marks, and who said it goes right after or right before. There are 3 reasons why we use dialogue. Reveal character relationships. It also progresses the story in an interesting way, and it increases the tension because those relationships can show how the action is moving forward and how the sort of tension and it's leading to that climax moment. You also want to include quotation marks in the right places around what someone says. So if you're ever quoting someone, for example, exactly what they're saying to another character or out loud, you add quotation marks around it. So here is an example of dialogue between characters that shows the relationship between characters and helps us understand how they feel towards each other or what they're thinking about each other. So, what's the capital of Spain? Jerry asked. And this is really important. So, pausing over his crossword puzzle. That's an explanation of his body language as he says something. Body language is just as important as what he's saying and how he's saying it. Susan looked up from her book and rolled her eyes. Madrid, duh. So that explanation of how she's responding to Jerry is super important. If she said Madrid and it was just bland, we would maybe think she was being kind, but actually she's not being very nice. Jerry slammed his pencil on the table. He looked like he was going to cry. I don't think I can take much more of this. So explain what your characters are doing and how their body language and responses look like so that we understand characters and relationships. To move action forward in an interesting way, we have to choose dialogue that's important. Sometimes I see narrative that has dialogue that's just maybe small talk or answering a phone and you're saying hello. That's wasted dialogue. We want to choose dialogue that's super important to the meaning of our story and shows really important pieces that we're trying to convey. How characters feel, tension between characters, a really important moment in the rising action. And then really importantly is a dialogue tag. So we're explaining how a character is saying it with a dialogue tag and what they look like with their body language. So, Dave, Jerry shouted. We've got to get away from here. The building's going to blow. We've got to go back, Dave screamed. Why? And then here's that body language. Dave pointed at the roof. Susan's still up there. This shouted and screamed adds tension and helps us understand how they're feeling and how they're saying what they're saying. If you use said, there's no emotion in it, there's no tension, we don't understand what's really, truly happening in this scene. So make sure you add not only body language, but a dialogue tag that's not said. Here's a list of all of these dialogue tags that can go alongside those body language descriptions to help you add tension and interest to their dialogue. Thanks.